My name is Belinda Dubston, and it is great to have you here for our last overview for October, for the week commencing the 25th of October, 2021. Last week we had pressure. So were you a diamond growing into the pressure, okay? Or were you a pancake flattened by the pressure? Did you find ways of putting down the things that weren't critical and shoring up the structures in your life to support you dealing with this intense process of opportunity and growth and creation we are all going through? Please share your comments. Be lovely to hear how you handled last week. What happened for you that was great pressure and deliverance? Now, this week we have a very interesting combination. We start the week, our first flow of change that the I Ching is asking us to pay attention to. 25th of October this week is hexagram 54, Marrying Maiden. If you are new to the channel and you hear Marrying Maiden, you might think, oh, a marriage is on the cards. That might be exciting or not exciting. But that's not really what this hexagram is about. This flow of change, the state of change, is calling our attention to big cycles of change we are going through, where we are drawn into new circumstances, new commitments, new families. So this is the story of a princess who is drawn into a family. She's like maybe the fourth or the fifth wife, whatever it is, but she's not primary, and she's kind of married into this princess family and is having to learn how to behave and conduct herself and not try and push her agenda for personal power, because she can't. There's a whole lot of other queens in waiting ahead of her. And it's being drawn into a process where we have to accept we are disempowered, not personally, but by our circumstances, but we are being drawn into a place of much bigger power for us as time evolves. Very fascinating concept for us to work with. So I feel very often that this hexagram comes to teach us about accepting changes in personal power and being able to see the bigger picture and realize that there are big cycles of power that we go through, where we are in power and we feel powered, and where we feel secondary, but secondary is part of the cycle, getting ready to fire up again as we are drawn into a position of personal power, of letting go of ego, of needing to be the first queen in the queue, recognizing that sometimes we can do more backstage than we can on stage. Right. So for us in our businesses this week, let's look at letting go and trusting the processes that are happening around us. If we think about in a business context, this might be you're not getting the project you want, or you're not getting the client you want, or you're not getting the employee you want, or an outcome you want. And so what you do is you try and manipulate and push the situation to get what you want. But there's a bigger cycle playing out. And the harder you push into this thing, the harder it bites back with bigger teeth. So there's a process of accepting cycles that are beyond your control, bigger cycles that are beyond you, and just going with the flow, trusting the process. And if you are as a person, a trusting person in the processes of your life, a proactive participant in that, you're going to be fine. If you want to be in control all the time, a little bit harder to swallow. Okay, so we have one changing line this week. It is in the second position. And this changing line is all about the value of being in the wings this week. Okay. Talks about on the stage, as I mentioned, a whole power game going on, okay? A whole lot of people vying for power on the stage. Your most powerful position, and this is what the I Ching is saying, but trust your life, trust your own process. We have to work as side wings now. We have to take the side wing of the stage and we have to just be hidden. Okay, go undercover this week and watch the drama playing out in the stage in front of you. And so all it calls us to do is just to take a back seat and to watch things from the sideline. And that's what the I Ching is asking us to pay attention to this week. These changing lines are little bursts of concentrated change that draw us to specific things that we can pay attention to, that we can work with. And I love them, that they give us something so specific to focus on for the week. So where you see the whole power dynamics playing out around you, you go into the wings, okay, and just watch from the sideline. Your position of power is there, not in fighting it out on the stage. Now, the second hexagram for this week that we work with as a parallel process of focus and development is the symbol, the hexagram known as 51 shock. Okay, this is also known as shake up. Think about double strikes of lightning bolts. This is thunder, 2 trigrams of thunder, thunder over thunder. Lightning comes and thunder comes and boom, it shakes up the sound, and boom, it shakes up the air with the light. And we have the sensory clearing out and the shake up and this kind of wake up call that helps shake us out of our slumber, as it were. And so this hexagram is all about a sudden movement forward, a shake up that launches our creative energy, that spurs us into action. It's often a week of surprises, of shocks, of unexpected things suddenly becoming apparent, becoming aware of things that are total surprises. We might even see in the news, unexpected revelations come, or unexpected news come to us. It's that kind of energy where the unexpected, the shocking surprise, which can be positive and can first appear negative, is all geared to shake us out of slumber, to wake us up as to what is really going on, and to get our attention to getting moving. Okay, so it often comes when there's this build-up of static energy. Think about what technically is happening in a thunderstorm in our lives, in our businesses, in our teams. There's this build-up and this build-up, and the hair starts to lift as all the static energy builds up, and then wow, there comes the lightning bolt, there comes the boom of the thunder, and everything is shaken up. But then everything is clear. The air is cleared out because of this movement and the surge of energy. So it could be for us that something suddenly drops into our lap that we didn't expect, or a project that we thought was dead suddenly wakes up and is due yesterday, or surprising news, or that something comes to give us an idea that wakes us up out of our kind of slumber, as it were, in wherever we are slumbering. And it is a creative impulse to get us moving. Okay, so whether we experience it as a negative or we experience it as a positive, it's to help mobilize our creative energy. So, an interesting week, tricky in staying out of the power games, okay, and not perpetuating the power games in your teams and your family, and then just maintaining your decorum and your composure as things shake up, as things suddenly start accelerating, as change comes a-knocking. That is our week. So, who's to know what is going to happen in November? October is finishing up. If you haven't yet done so, the October overview might give you some insight as to the month and the patterns that you were experiencing. And I will see you next at the monthly overview for November, because we are barreling towards the end of this year. Can you believe it? Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell. You know what to do to join us on the regular. See you on the socials. And if you're on the podcast version, thank you so much for your ongoing support to the I Ching Cafe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.